play out. Rise Nation and TK just about as close as it could get. We talk about Rise Nation being dominant, but we see TK right on their coattails.
I mean, look how close this game is right now, Revan. 190 to 187. Note we tune in with Slasher so close to streaks. Just needs 70 more points, and he will get that first streak. A 29-22 performance from him. Accuracy 23-23, so that's how that AR fight has gone down.
TK are getting outslayed right now by 10, now 9 kills. It's a clean 4 down for Rise Nation, but still, it's a 13-point lead for TK. And they're winning in TK fashion, right? Getting outside in hardpoint, but still with the lead.
And here's the thing that you have to note. Rise currently with a bad spawn as well here for Ruin. So if the hilt does go over towards Bunker, surely TK should be able to close it out. But accuracy, the man we said potentially, the man who can shut down Slasher consistently, managed to find a double. Pharaoh gets a double as well. TK still with favorable spawns. This is TK's map to lose.
And what were we just talking about accuracy and his time in hill? Right here, 2 minutes, 20 seconds already, and
Insane.
still more time for him to grab. And I was a little bit worried when I heard Enable or accuracy talking about the role swap between Pharaoh and Enable. Pharaoh looks like he's doing just a fine job with that assault rifle in his hands.
And hey, I don't want to say our stats were right, but look at TJ, 27 and 34. Yes, he's having a somewhat decent game, but that stat that we said, 88%
Same with Looney.
win ratio across all maps when he goes even or positive. Right now, of course, a little bit negative, as to your point, is Looney. TK, this is your map. You have Bunker, you have the spawns, Rise spawning in no man's land. It looks phenomenal for TK to go 1-0 up.
Yeah, absolutely. If you're TK, this is the exact position you want to be in. Locking down mid-map, it's going to be Kenny pushing out the lanes, finds 2 kills. Now 2 remaining members for Rise Nation. They're blocked off. The crossfire here is established for TK. Just 1 more point, and they walk away with the map 1 victory. There it is.
TK all day. Map 1, hardpoint Ardennes Forest. And you can see all grins there, and of course some focus coming through. But a great start for them, and against a team like Rise Nation, you have to start strong, and that's exactly what we got.
I mean, when we walked into that one, obviously we jump in at the very end, but it's pretty much knotted up, and all of a sudden TK really is able to put their claws into them there. And we talked about how TK, Revan, could be one of these squads that has a favorable matchup against Rise Nation.
Yeah, and I was talking about the stats coming into that map 1. Both teams were undefeated throughout stage 2 so far. TK played 1 more map. They were 3-0. Now, if we just tally that onto it, they're undefeated on Ardennes Forest Hardpoint 4-0, and that's Rise Nation's first loss that we've seen in a little bit.
And, you know, going into that one, pretty much it was a segment of us just gassing Rise, and they were going to actually lose that first map, Ben.
I mean, that's what we talked about. You know, when we saw the map vetoes, we said Rise 0-2 currently head-to-head in Ardennes Forest. Obviously, you say overall, it's not necessarily the best map 1 that you want for Rise. TK, you know, they played fantastic Call of Duty. I was glancing kind of to my left during that the Game 5 round 11 as well, just to kind of see where that series was heading. And TK, you've got to give it to them, man. Like, again, they managed to clutch up when they need to, and a good map 1 result for them, but they have to close out the series. It's all good and well getting excited about map 1, but they have to close out the series.
That Game 5 was pretty hard to glance off of, but folks at home, if at any point you want to be checking in on Bravo, Charlie, or Delta, we of course are going to be streaming all of that gameplay all weekend long. But Mud Dog, I do want to talk about Team Kaliber a little bit more. We had a few areas where we got to kind of touch on it, why they have this favorable matchup. What is it in your mind why they have a favorable matchup against, honestly, one of the best teams in Call of Duty right now?
You know, I thought they had a favorable matchup on that first map with it being Forest, but I still think Rise is going to win this series. TK has some great teamwork, as you saw on that map. We had 3 players negative, but they're able to win it. But Rise is, I think they're just going to outclass them with talent, especially Gunless and Slasher. They're going to put up some numbers. I think they're going to win this series 3-1 here.
You know, back in, I'm trying to think how long ago it was. It was really when that roster swap initially happened on Trading Shots. I think we went back and forth a little bit with our good pal Maven, who, you know, granted, Maven probably isn't as intelligent as me or you, but
I like where this is going, Rich.
Maven was basically saying, hey, look, just throw talent on a team and it's going to work. That's always kind of Maven's idea with rosters, and I totally respect his ideology on it, but ultimately I feel like you and I were kind of saying, you know what, maybe just putting all the best talent on a roster isn't going to be enough. Team chemistry matters, so many factors matter, play styles matter. What is it, though, about this Rise lineup that has made Maven right?
I mean, I don't think Maven is right. Yes, they have the talent, but they have everything else as well. Okay. It isn't just 4 players that were thrown together saying, you can shoot well, you're good as well, we'll be fine. That's not what this Rise squad is about at all. They have a fantastic leader in Looney. Obviously, we mentioned the stats, we mentioned the playmakers in each specific game mode. They have the best assault rifle player in the game right now. You throw it all together, it's a match made in heaven.
And on top of that leadership Looney brings, you also have a leader in Slasher.
Right.
And those two right now, they're getting along. I was talking to them, they're picking certain points to lead in certain times. And it's great when you have those opposing viewpoints, you can talk things out and figure out what's best for the team.
And it's like friendship too, right? I mean, me and Revan know when these guys are in Columbus, Ohio, we're playing basketball with them, right? All of them, they're just having a great time. They're good friends. Everything is gelling to the point that they are 1-0 down. So you have to give TK the props that they deserve here. They are a formidable team.
They definitely are, and they have got the better of this matchup before. Will they be able to keep that in game number 2? TK going to be leading by 1.
Well, here we go. Heading to map 2. Of course, it will be a Valkyrie search and destroy. Head-to-head, these two teams, of course, have not played. So it's going to be interesting to see who comes out on top here, Rev.
Yep, Rise Nation, they are undefeated on this map for search and destroy. 2-0 throughout stage 2. Team Kaliber, they are 1-1. So a bit of a statistical edge towards Rise Nation, but TK, they're a very resilient team. Every time I cast on them, I talk about that. No matter what deficit they face, no matter what situation they're in, they always find a way to make the magic happen and pull out a victory.
And this is a good start for them as well. After a convincing game 1 win, you want to carry that momentum through into game 2. You saw an opening 2-piece there as well coming in for TK, and they just close the round out with numbers. So exactly what you want to see in those situations, Rev.
Yep, straightforward round 1 here for Team Kaliber. They come out strong as all of Rise Nation fall. So as we were just talking about, exactly what TK want to do, carry that momentum through, and it seems like they have a strong start here to the search and destroy, but you got to continue to play at this pace all map long.
You definitely do, and one of the big concerns when you talk about TK and search and destroy is Enable, right? Statistically speaking, he's been kind of disastrous in search and destroy throughout the league. So you do have to kind of keep your eyes on Enable. He's going to be doing the dirty work, if you will, carrying the bomb this round for TK. Looney's going to spot him. That's going to be the first engagement. Kenny hits a quick fight, and that's going to be another double to kick things up for TK. Enable finds a pick on TJ, and just like that, Slasher's left in a 1v4. You blink, and TK have already won the round.
Yeah, everything fell apart for Rise Nation right there. It all started with Enable just baiting inside closet. He draws the attention of Looney, opens up that side alley angle for Kenny to find the easy pick on Looney. Then the long-range SMG shot on the player just stuck inside the operations bunker window, and from there, 4-on-2, you just work the numbers. Another straightforward round for Team Kaliber, and 2 rounds played are 2 convincing rounds. Kenny has 4 kills already on a 4 spree, so the one goal for Rise Nation in this upcoming round is to shut down Kenny. Don't let him earn these streaks.
Yeah, that's the key. Keep your eyes out on Kenny's progression. Currently 400 out of 700 towards that first glide bomb. We'll see if he's potentially going to find a pick here. No, Farrell running directly in front of him, so maybe a little bit of bait could occur there, but Enable's going to be the first player in a little bit of danger. Those 4 Rise Nation players head over towards him, and there it is, Gunless, first blood with Enable.
And I feel like once his teammates are pushing up this lane, like over towards that A bomb site, Enable should just back on up. Like, he should be feeling the pressure, and his teammates should be relaying that information to them.
You don't even have to wait for the nades at that point. When your teammates have that much information,
you're like, with the sun.
They're probably coming over towards me. You can't just play it a little slow, as Farrell ultimately does fall. Kenny there for the trade, however, so still a 2 versus 3. Accuracy is going to level up the playing field as Looney falls 2v2. Gunless and TJ still alive. Kenny again still working towards those streak progression. That's a pick. And honestly, Kenny's probably feeling pretty confident. 29 seconds go for the gunfight. It's Gunless 1v1. Kenny readjusts his position.
Just smoke the fuse. I mean, it's not going to happen, but he connects with the headshot. Kenny with the headshot on the Gunless. With this defuse, he's going to be even closer, but actually should earn this artillery barrage. The streak's already available, and keep in mind, this information is gained by Rise Nation because they're all dead. So fully streaked out is Kenny. This is the perfect start for Team Kaliber.
That is phenomenal. It's ironic. You say smoke diffuse, Kenny peeks at the perfect time. Headshot. Doesn't need to even worry about it. Full streaks for TK. Kenny doing just Kenny-like things here in Valk Search Game 2. Of course, if you are just tuning in, it is TK with the 1-0 lead after an Ardennes Forest victory, but they are really keeping that momentum going. I mean, you look at the stand line for Rise Nation, Looney 0-3, Slasher 1-3, TJ 1-3, Gunless 2-3. Now you have to worry about streaks as well from TK. Not the start you want if you're a Rise fan.
Right now, Kenny obviously outslaying the entire Rise Nation squad, and you earn the streaks, you might as well use them. Immediately calls in the glide bomb. Does he see TJ? Might see Slasher as well, trying to isolate these players, but regardless, first blood goes in favor of Team Kaliber, thanks to actually taking down TJ Halley, the X factor for this team. As we pointed out with the stat line, this should be another easy kill for Kenny. Anything Team Kaliber does right now on the map, they're finding the kills, they're winning their engagements. Looney's left in a 1v4 down to a 1v3, but he's isolated in the back alley. He falls, and it's another easy round for TK. I feel like we just loaded into this map, and TK already have 4 rounds.
Yep, it's been quick, Revan, that's for sure. I mean, that's the second 1v4 Rise Nation have been left in, and of course, 2 for 2 on unsuccessful clutches, that's for sure. 4-0 the lead for TK. This map is flying through, and I mean, obviously, you can see there the picture of the TK squad behind the player.
Enable's a little injured.
Enable, yeah, I think it's a broken collarbone he has, and he's still coming out performing relatively well thus far. A good hard point, and Search and Destroy 2-1. But to be honest, he's not really had much to do when Kenny's flying around the map as quick as he is, and you have accuracy as well at 4-2. Everything going TK's way.
Yeah, there are only so many kills on the map, and now changing up the pace. Farrell trying to open things up with the sniper. Kenny is here potentially for the trade, and he commits to the engagement, and he wins it against Slasher. That's just pure confidence.
When you're 8-0, you're going to take a fight like that every single day of the week. You got a 4-0 lead. You don't have to worry. Kenny not fallen yet. Accuracy gets a double across the map. Go for the triple. Gunless does shut him down. Can Gunless now go for the clutch? No, because guess who he runs into? That man, Kenny.
Kenny yet to die in this game, and it's important to see Kenny playing well in Search and Destroy 14K. Coming into this event, he comes in with a .85, which is a little bit uncharacteristic for Kenny, but he obviously is finding his rhythm here early on here at CWL Anaheim.
Most definitely is, especially the last time I believe that they played against Rise Nation, dropped to .97 as well. So a much better performance, you could say, for that young man as TK looking good to put game 2 to bed in an emphatic fashion. To your point, Revan, I feel like we just loaded into the map.
Yeah. Then these rounds have been quick. They haven't really been drawn out. Not a lot of them going the distance. Now on board with the man himself, Kenny. Smoke grenade, airborne class. Once again, peeking over towards that side alley. As you have Enable the bomb carrier peeking in through closet. Does find Looney this time around. Doesn't pick up the kill. Can he get out of dodge?
Oh, the misdive.
And finally, Rise Nation with some first bloods.
Well, it only took a bit of a mistake to come through, but Accuracy somehow finds a double. He's going to get the information on Looney, but it doesn't matter. Just when you start to think maybe Looney could clutch up, maybe Accuracy could clutch up there. The nades come flying through. Looney drops it right on Accuracy's head. And Rise will win their first round. I mean, I know you've been a part of every 5-0 comeback. It was pretty crazy. It happened a fair few times.
We are the duo. I was honestly about to say the exact same thing. Every time I see a team down 0-5 Search and Destroy and win the following round, I always like to bring out that, I casted, both 0-5 comebacks that we've seen in competitive Call of Duty history. Maybe we'll see one right here, as right now nothing has been going right for Rise Nation. You have no mistakes left to make, and you still have Kenny with these streaks available.
That's the problem, right? If you want to see that Rise Nation kind of comeback, you still have to worry about those streaks Kenny has, and the fact that they've just been so good at getting those first bloods and trading them out. There's another one. Pharaoh grabs it. Numbers advantage in TK's favor. Kenny spots one player. Slasher will level up the playing field, but Enable instantly shuts down Looney, so advantage still with TK. It's a 3v2, and Kenny still with streaks to use.
Yeah, Pharaoh picking up that first blood. Keep in mind, coming into this event, he's got a 27 first blood percentage for his team, so he gets involved in the action early on. Loves to be super aggressive. And I was worried with him, swapping over to that AR role. Maybe it might slow him down just a little bit, but he's got the most first bloods on his team. Obviously, Kenny rolling at 10-2. It's a 2v2 situation here in round 7.
And you just feel like Accuracy may just push up and challenge Slasher. He goes for it, finds the pick, advantage TK. Accuracy is going to be traded out. Now it's gunless, 1 versus 1 against Enable. Of course, Rise will need to try and put that bomb down as well. 30 seconds left in the round. Enable now with all the information on where gunless is.
And we've been talking about Enable and his struggles in Search and Destroy. This is exactly where you can have an impact. A round-winning engagement here, but gunless is going to come out on top. Rise Nation now winning 2 in a row, but still a very long road ahead of them, because keep in mind, they have no mistakes left to make. And if you're TK, obviously you have these extra rounds to play with, so you could throw something different at your opponent, right? You could pick up the pace, you could drastically slow things down, stack one side of the map. A lot of different looks that they could choose to throw at Rise Nation, and all it takes is one of them to work.
And we've seen one already. Pharaoh pulled out a sniper rifle, pushed over toward the A side, I believe it was, and tried to mix things up a little bit. They have that big cushion. Obviously, on Rise's side, it's 1 round at a time, obviously, because you can't lose another one, but there has to be that mentality. You have to forget that you're 5-2 down. Just approach it as a brand new slate. As it stands, of course, TK 5-2 up. It's going to be TK as well on the attacking side. Will Looney find the first engagement? Yes, he will. It's Kenny. And Looney, one shot, wisely backs away.
And TK choosing to attack the A bomb site, even though they have those streaks available. They find first blood as Accuracy shuts down gunless. And I know we were gassing up Kenny after that 10-0 start, but Accuracy's right behind him at 10-5.
This definitely is, and TJ falls at 3-8, leaves Slasher 1v3, makes it a 1v2. 30 seconds left, doesn't even matter. The nades rain down, and our reigning CWL champs in their first game on the main stage find themselves 2-0 down here to TK.
Yeah, absolutely not looking good for them. And the map counts for Rise Nation coming to this event from stage 2. They were 10-1 in hardpoint. They lose map 1. They were 7-1 in Search and Destroy.
Wow.
They lose map 2. So it's a slow start for Rise Nation here in their first series, but still more games obviously to look ahead as we look ahead to the CTF.
Obviously, we've seen some fantastic games already here day 1 at Anaheim. We had a fantastic game 5, round 11 to kick things off. over on Bravo, but this one, Rise Nation versus TK. It's TK 2-0 up. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Call of Duty World League presented by PlayStation 4. We're back in Anaheim, and what an Anaheim it's been so far. We're only a couple of series in, already a Game 5, round 11. Now we find ourselves Rise Nation, our reigning CWL champs, 2-0 down to TK. Of course, TK started the year with back-to-back victories themselves, so they know what it's like to be on top. But Revan, what a series this has proven to be so far for TK.
Yeah, TK, they were down early on in that first hardpoint map, but they were able to bring it back towards the mid to late game and then search and destroy. Anything Kenny did was the right play. I mean, no matter where he decided to push out on the map, he was winning engagement after engagement, winds up starting off the map on a 10 spree, and TK don't look back since. But Ben, you already brought up that we saw one reverse sweep heading into a Game 5 round 11, and it was a similar fashion to how this series is currently playing out. Rise Nation, they hold the head-to-head record throughout the year against TK, up 3-1. And the scary thing is the slaying that Rise Nation brings to the table. All players above a 1.0. You have Gunless versus TK. He's got a 1.05. You have TJ at a 1.22. Looney at a 1.11. And Slasher with a 1.43 for CTF specifically throughout the year against Team Kaliber.
Yeah, they look fantastic. And on the flip side, you look at a player like Enable, for example, head-to-head, it's a 0.72. So definitely not the best performance he's had against Rise Nation, of course. We'll see if he can try and step things up. But here is something, of course, worth noting. The momentum TK have. After such a big blowout in Game 2, I mean, you have to feel like sometimes stats do kind of go out the window when 3 players fall here for Rise Nation. TK on the attack.
And we already brought up a lot of stats about TJ. I got another one for you, Ben. Right. Rise Nation and CTF are 32-2 when TJ goes even or positive. That's a 94% win rate.
Woo, that's a lot. Well, how's he doing so far? 3-2, so positive, and you can see the pressure.
Sit in the corner and camp. Rest of the game, stay positive, TJ.
Unfortunately, I think that is going to be a flagpole there for the Rise Nation fans. It's going to be accuracy running it.
And it's a cab.
And you're absolutely right. It is, and that's just fantastic spawn control there from Enable. Note what he did. Moves over deep towards cabin, forces a back bridge spawn for Rise Nation. No hope for them whatsoever of stopping accuracy. 1-0 TK.
Yeah, now if you're these players that are pushed on forward for TK, you're just looking to stay and maintain that forward position to act as sort of like a checkpoint for your teammates. You're not pushing on forward. Kenny continued to have a great series. He's off to a 6-2 start, has as many kills as his teammates combined, well, up until Farrell got that one against TJ. But now Kenny putting pressure onto the Rise Nation flag. One player to get past, and he's going to pick up the kill all on the Looney. Another flagpole and another flag cap potential or opportunity here for TK, but take a look at Slasher.
Now keep your eyes peeled here because Slasher actually got behind accuracy. Accuracy didn't see him, so they don't have any information where Slasher is, but the flag's cut mid. Slasher should turn around here. Surely this is a pick for Slasher.
Oh, Kenny, you're a god.
Kenny guns him. 9-2, a 4 streak, caps the flag. There's your first 2 streaks. TK, we're looking like the first event type of TK right here.
That decision for Kenny to just cut mid and run the flag up that mid alley is such a tough decision to make, and you feel like he knew that Slasher was behind near his base, ready to cut him off. He was the last player left on the map. His teammates were pushed on forward, and now you have Kenny fully streaked out, everything available for him to use. He's on his 6-3-11, making it 7-3 at 12-2. This man's just carrying it, everything forward from that previous search and destroy.
We haven't seen this Kenny in a while, to be completely honest. The type of Kenny that just takes over a series, and that's exactly what he's done, continuing the momentum through from the search and destroy, where he was pretty much flawless for the most part of it. Now all of a sudden, Rise Nation could be in a whole new world of bother as Kenny pushes down, but as if for now at least Rise may survive. But TK, I mean, damage done here so far in the first 3 minutes of the game. You have yourself a 2-0 lead. I was convinced that maybe accuracy not spotting Slasher could have been detrimental, but luckily Kenny, of course, was the player with the flag, and now TJ trying to turn things around on the attacking side here for Rise Nation. There's the first pick. Looney follows it through the second. May actually see a flagpole come through from TJ. Problem is he's one shot.
Yeah, and also you talked about damage being done. Look at the classes that Rise Nation are now forced to run. All of them have Mountain on. TJ actually has Mountain Energetic, so any grenade that TK throw near his vicinity is going to have an effect, but a potential for a stalemate situation here as Enable pulls the Rise Nation flag. He's got teammate support over near the ruin side of the map. Meanwhile, it's TJ Halley going towards the back of Rise Nation's own base, and behind enemy lines, once again, it's Kenny. Connects with the hip fire, finds 2 kills. Can he make it a third here near that mid tank? No, he cannot. So, stalemate situation for the time being, but keep in mind, TK have streaks to play off of if they want to make another offensive push.
And that was a fantastic decision that Enable made as well, to actually go for that counter pull. As soon as he realized the pressure from TJ, he'd already overextended. He had to go for that play. Managed to get the flag out, and you know, this is great for TK. Hey, we're 2-0 up. Bleed the clock down. There's a minute still to play here, and you know, Rise on the favorable side as well. Let's not forget that as Looney falls. 2 players go down. TJ and Gunless left to try and defend.
Yeah, now Gunless is in a tough situation because his teammates falls. He feels a need to rotate back and help out, you know, relieve pressure off of mid-map. He will spot accuracy here, picks up the kill as well, so that at least relieves some pressure off the map, but he's immediately traded. So there's really no progression being made here by Rise Nation. Meanwhile, on the other side of the map, TK are pushing through the cabin side of the map. They have presence over near that mid lane as well, and plus you still have streaks.
And I want to point out as well, look at how TK is playing this. They're more than happy to just wait. Kenny just covering. You got accuracy off spawn. He went mid-map. They know Gunless isn't overextended just yet. They have every angle covered. Rise Nation, they have to push. They have to be the aggressive ones. Bear in mind, of course, if the time does run out, we will have that extra 60 seconds added here. So, for Rise Nation, this could be maybe the turning point here in that CTF where you can pull yourself back into it.
Absolutely, and if they can just continue to weather the storm, maybe burn an extra streak out of Kenny, it would be at least something positive to take away going into that, but we will see stoppage time here, an extra minute added onto the clock as both flags are out at bay.
And that's the key, right? Why are they playing this way? Because Kenny does have streaks. They get one, maybe they get 2 kills, Kenny drops a streak, all of a sudden the flag gets returned, it's 3-0 at the half. There's the first 2 kills. Will we see the streak used by Kenny? He's stationary right now, and perfect, exactly. That is exactly what you want to do if you're TK. Now, can he find a pick with it? Slasher coming up, swollen in front of the 2 players there, both one-shot. Is anyone in a position to do the damage? Well, it's going to be Kenny himself. May actually just back away here and see if they can get another way to kill.
I mean, the way he's been shooting, you feel like he can take on all 4 players with Rise Nation. 16 and 8 right now, but speaking about Rise, now you could safely swap back to the classes you want to run, right? There's no reason to have Mountain on anymore since there's only a Mortar Strike. Maybe they're thinking an Artillery Barrage, one of the 2, but still 15 seconds left to play. There's time for Gunless to push up this lane, and there's time for Rise Nation to get the return.
And that's an important kill because it forces Kenny to respect this push from Gunless. Meanwhile, his teammate Looney is going over towards the bunker side, so now all of a sudden, TK could be in a little bit of pain. Accuracy does find one. Slasher left to try and push.
Oh, that's the
Looney,
flag!
he's gonna get the flag. Does he get the return? He does, and the flag goes in as well. Rise Nation will get the flag cap with seconds to go. 2-1, and we talked about turning points, Revan. We talked about it. That could well be it.
I just don't understand. You're the flag carrier, like, just run to the back of the map. There's like 5 seconds remaining. Sure, you were feeling some pressure over towards the Bell side of the map, but you also had that whole lane open over towards bunker, and that winds up being exactly where Rise Nation sneak on through, and that's a great ending to the half. You figure you burn the fighter pilot, now you could safely swap off of those mountain classes, and you get a flag cap at the end to bring it to within 1.
Perfect. Considering how that round was going, it did not look good. Now, as you say, no streaks to worry about. You can pull out your correct classes. You don't have to worry about the streaks. And to your point, you did get a flag cap as well. So best case scenario to ending that round. Now can they get a little bit of momentum back? Because to be honest, Rise Nation this entire series have looked flat. It hasn't looked like our reigning CWL champs. It's just looked as if they're just so slow to the party here at Anaheim.
Completely agree with you there, Benson. Where's the intensity from this lap? I mean, sure, you think back to Seattle, they did have a very slow start at the beginning of pools, and then they turned it around, but that's when this roster was first coming together, and you remember when Jess was talking to Slasher after that victory against Optic Gaming, he felt like this was not even their final form. They're just going to continue to get better and better with each match they play.
Well, as it stands, TK 2-1 up, and it's Kenny at 17 and 10, who is just leading by example for the Team Kaliber squad. And I want to send it over now to an Astro Gaming listening with Team Kaliber.
I'm spawning up. We have a 3 Lamar.
Nice, TJ's in bunker.
Your mid's open, Lamar.
I got 4.
Yeah, I'll push broker.
The 4th on me. Guys, fire tank. I'm trying to live.
Fire alley dead. Go in broken. I'm holding the wall. Once in broken, yeah, play for Lamar.
Not the 4th.
Alright, one's in broken. I'm just trying to finesse.
Now the 4th.
Go left.
I think I am. One's in broken.
Fourth. He's holding the barrel head glitch.
Top second. Yeah, I'm going for it. Hold broken. Just play corner. I don't have it yet, Lamar. I don't have it. I have it now.
Alright.
Fourth. He's right at the right barrel.
Nice. One more top second pushing, bro.
Oh yeah, that's fine. I'm splitting up in 2.
I'm waiting for you. Not the 4th yet.
One's fourth. Cabin.
To your left.
I got close.
I'm going nice.
Look at ice from mid bridge.
I'm going you. Yes, top bridge, Lamar.
I pushed out.
Top bridge. Oh fuck. He's out of back bridge.
Yeah, just chill.
Oh,
nice,
good play
He's going you.
They kill him on the dot.
Oh, fire tank, Lamar. Fire tank left side. I got to pull him. Nice, Lamar.
I got re.
I remit.
Lamar, you actually
got
Yo, we got.
Farley.
Right side, they're all spawned. The last guy, Looney spawned Slasher. Looney and Slasher.
I'm gonna glide it.
I spawned Cabin. I think they spawned broken.
I'm glad
It was Slasher. He could follow you. I'm taking up you.
One on the flag, 2 back bunker, one side bunker. In
Bunker, 80 front.
Nice.
Let's go.
I have the right.
Back right, left guy. I'm coming.
Oh my fucking god! I got one. Yo, watch it. I gotta grab it. No, they're owing.
I'm artillery, bro.
Yo, they could chase you as well.
Yeah, the guy out spawn could chase. He probably did.
One's our second. Oh, in unit mid, fourth. TJ's 4. They're gonna be bridge. Oh, no, they're gonna be on you, Lamar. They're gonna be on you. There's gonna be 2. I'm spawning up. Lamar, run it back. Nice. I spawned back. Yo, bridge out of bridge. I got him.
Holding bridge at 4th.
Nice, fuck.
I'll get it.
I'm going cabin.
You have a fighter pilot, right?
Yeah.
Go at the wall. I'm dead. At the wall.
Looney just manages to get the return there, but fantastic intensity coming from TK. Accuracy makes a nice little play to sneak behind enemy lines, gets a kill, gets himself some streaks. Kenny, of course, still with a streak of his own to be used here. 2 minutes still to go. Rise. I mean, they're 2 minutes away from getting 3-0'd.
From that listening, you could tell how much TK wants this victory, and
so
it's
much.
reflected. And that return from Looney could wind up being an important interaction in this game. Just keep that in the back of your mind. And meanwhile, actually was able to get streaked out. He uses the glide bomb, uses the artillery barrage. I believe he still has the fire pilot available to use, though.
And something really important to note while we touch on that listening, enables communication, almost flawless, really fantastic to hear, as finally Rise Nation do get 3 players down. And talk of enable, well, he's last man up. What can he produce? Slasher, of course, close to streaks. Is he going to be able to find them? He's looking for players off spawn. Can he find anything at all? Enable, of course, the player at the very back finds the first. Gunless watching the cross. He ultimately drops. The fighter pilot has been used. Slasher falls as well. Flag is still away. It's basically a 1v1. Your money probably on Kenny based on how this game has gone so far. TJ goes for the challenge. Kenny one shot. TJ wins the gunfight. Flag is running.
Yeah, that fighter pilot shuts down Slasher from early streaks, but now it's all battle on the overextension. Accuracy finds 2 to open things up for TK. Then can they get a touch on this flag? He has support from Enable. Pharaoh's set up over near that mid-cross. 1 player left alive. That's a flag carrier for Rise Nation. TJ wins the one-on-one. His teammates now spawning on top of them, so they should be able to stabilize this, but coming around the back, it's none other than Kenny. He has the window of opportunity. Can he capitalize? Finds the kill. Can't get the return, so we're back in a stalemate.
And that's a big win as well, because TJ would have been so close to streaks. So 3 kills came through with the flag as well. So in terms of points, very, very close. Note, Rise Nation will have to just track back and pick up that flag. It's going to be down to, I believe, TJ to do that. As Slasher tries to push up, he has the support of Looney. Note again, another 60 seconds could potentially come through here. If you're Rise, you have time for 1, maybe 2 solid pushes here. Good attempts to get this flag back.
Take a look at number 2, Enable roaming around the middle of the map. Right now, TK, they just need to play some defense. Each kill they get while these spawns are staggered for Rise Nation are crucial, but keep in mind, since the game is within 1, we will see that extra minute to stop its shine.
And this is where if you're Rise, just reset, right? It's tough to do in these situations, but it needs to be done. Slasher pushing up, Looney's there. They know that the remaining TK players should be kind of turtled up in the back of their base, but they're a little worried. You can see that coming through, that thought process, the decision making. Looney first to the charge. The smoke grenades have been thrown. Looney one shot. Slasher drops, and with 50 seconds, Looney's thinking, do I go for the push? Do I stay alive? Oh, what's the
back up. There's no reason to be pushing ice here. I feel like you have more area to work with if you decide to push over towards the rune side of the map. Plus, you know for a fact that when the team starts to spawn up, they will be towards that open lane. But time winding down, you know, you have limited pushes here for Rise Nation. They got to go quickly.
And this is one of those moments where all of a sudden it's getting a little dangerous for TK. Gunner's trying to get some map control. He gets slain down. Looney trying to push through. Enable in a great position to shut anything down whatsoever. Can he find the kill? Accuracy does go down, but Enable there for the trade. 20 seconds left. He's going to keep that flag alive. No one else from Ryzen. And this is the point now where it's almost too late. You would have loved to see maybe TJ join the attack there, but you don't have the time to do so. The streaks come through from TK. It's looking like it's going to be a 3-0.
And once again, Rise Nation choosing to push to the cap side of the map, but they only got 5 seconds left to play with. 4 seconds, time dwindling down. They have to go. They have to teleport across the map, but this technology is just not there. TK come out hot, a 3-0 victory over Rise Nation.
Oh my goodness, and I mean, we couldn't praise Rise enough when we first got here, right? I mean, and they deserved all of that gas. TK now gonna be the team that deserves that gas. They are going to be the second team today to get a 3-0 up on the main stage, and they look darn good. How were they able to do it? Mud Dog, you got to sit here and watch this one with me. What was it that ensured that TK was able to win in such a dominant fashion?
2 things. Kenny played extremely well, controlled the pace of the sub game, and Lamar played better than Slasher there. We talked about it before the match. At the end of that CTF, Lamar's 20-11, Slasher's I think something like 12-18 there. Obviously in the CTF, when you don't have the lead, it's tough to pick up your stats there, but Lamar played very well.
Yeah, I think if I was Lamar right now, I would definitely be pretty excited after this one.
I mentioned how, you know, you mentioned as well that, you know, you're out with dinner with the two and they were kind of having that conversation, and Accuracy brought it up. Hey, you know, I'm the only AR in the game that's kept you negative, but I'm your kryptonite. And I said, I don't think Slasher's going to let that happen. Accuracy, I'm never doubting you again, but fantastic performance from him. Just a game-changing performance, it really was, especially in that CTF. But Kenny. What a crazy, crazy series that is for him.
And you know, it's clear to see that Kenny and Accuracy were the standout performance here, but I also thought Pharaoh played really well with that assault rifle in his hands. I was worried, like I said, coming into this one, that it would affect the pacing, especially when it came down to the respawns. Kenny and Pharaoh are so aggressive that they almost play off of each other, and I felt like TK would maybe lose a little bit of that chemistry, but he looked just fine in that new role.
And finally, let's compliment the 4th member of this TK team. We went to the listen, and you saw Enable, his leadership stepped up. His small talk is one of the best in the game, and I really thought he was able to help keep TK TK on pace in that CTF.
It was just great knowledge, great call-outs. Everything he did was pretty much correct. You look at the stats, nothing special, but he made the right plays when he needed to.
The intangibles, baby, that's what matters.
Exactly.
I mean, we've talked about it a little bit this season, but we'll have to see how far can TK really go. Of course, there are a bunch of matches going on. I want to take a look right now at that Optic versus Splice